Hey everyone, my name is Sean and I'm a sports and lifestyle photographer from Toronto. Today we're going to be talking about the Canon 1DX Mark I and question whether or not this camera is still relevant in 2023. Okay, so let's start off with talking about the cons of this camera. Now, as you can see, the Canon 1DX Mark I is a large camera. Comparing to new cameras in 2023, like the Canon R3 and the Canon R5, this camera is probably twice the weight, twice the footprint, especially compared to those cameras. So if you're looking to have, lighter equipment, ensure that bag is not too heavy, this camera is probably not the one you're going to reach for. I know a lot of guys that are, slowly taking into account how heavy their gear is and downsizing for sure. So that's definitely a con with this camera. The other thing that I would say is if you're looking for the latest and greatest technology, you're not going to find that in this camera. I believe this came out in 2012. It doesn't do video, doesn't have a touchscreen on the back. The megapixels aren't exactly what you'd find in a brand new mirrorless camera today. So it has its limitations there if that's what you're looking for in a camera. But I do feel like it makes up for it in many more ways. So to talk a little bit about the pros of the Canon 1DX Mark I, the first thing I want to touch on is affordability. You probably wouldn't have said that about 10 years ago when this camera first came out, as the original price is around $8,000. But any day of the week right now, you can find this on Facebook Marketplace for under $1,500. And I mean, you're owning, a professional grade camera for less than $2,000. I just feel like that is extremely good value in 2023. Cameras these days are quite expensive, as we all know, and to get something that performs like this camera at that price is amazing. The other features that I really love about this camera that I still think, help its relevancy in 2023 have to be its speed. It's a 14 frames per second still camera. So you're able to capture a ton of action in a short time. The buffering speeds allow those images to be saved onto the card rapidly as well. So you're not missing any action as you're panning around the field, shooting, at the local rink. It really is just not going to miss anything for you. For me, other pros of this camera is its durability, completely weather sealed as well. So I can take this out in almost any conditions. I'm not too concerned that it's going to fail on me. As you can see from the back, it's got a pretty robust way to put the cards in there. Still takes your CF cards, which are, a little bit dated technology. You have to use card readers to get anything onto your computer. But for me, CF cards just rarely fail. I have SD cards that crack, and so CF cards feel like it just gives me that much more confidence that nothing's going to go wrong while I'm shooting. The other features I like are the extended battery life of this. Newer mirrorless cameras, like I mentioned before, the battery life, isn't the greatest. Those cameras overheat quite often, especially if you're shooting video. These cameras still take those old LP batteries. You can get 6 to 8 hours of shooting on one of those batteries. So definitely a pro for this camera. So to summarize if this camera is still relevant in 2023, my answer is definitely yes. The main reason for that is affordability. Now, I already mentioned it before, the price points that I picked this camera up for, but if you're looking to get a new camera for sports photography, my opinion is you don't always need to break the bank. You don't always need to be buying the latest and greatest equipment. A camera is a tool. Definitely you need something that's gonna, keep up with the sports and the action that you're shooting. But, this camera can pretty much do a lot of what the new cameras do in terms of speed. To me, it really, blends well with my style of shooting. I love large cameras personally. I feel like I have big hands, so holding this piece of gear in my hands feels like a tool. It gives me the confidence that I'm going to create the images that I want to create, and it's just never going to fail me. So if you are looking to pick up a new camera in 2023, the Canon 1DX is definitely, should be on your short list of cameras.